We're back. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? We are back for episode 4 of the podcast. And episode 4 is going to be an exciting episode because we have a very special guest. It is Father's Day weekend, and I got my dad sitting directly across from me, staring at me in the eyes. We're going to talk about sports. We're going to talk about beers and breweries. We're also going to jump into some rapid-fire questions at the end to get him to get to know him a little bit better. So, you ready?
I'm ready. Let's
Welcome.
go. Thanks, man.
How was the trip?
It's fabulous.
Yeah, 14 hours in the car. Not too bad.
Just time, man.
Just time.
That's all it is.
What was did you listen to any full albums on the way here?
No, just the whole set list on the iPod, you know.
How many times have you listened to that?
I've listened to those songs many times. How many songs was it? 180 songs to get up here.
Was it really?
Wow.
You
Yep.
kept track?
Yeah, I just let them play.
Dang. You didn't skip any?
Nope.
Wow, that's impressive. So if you know my dad, he is a skipper of songs if he's not into them. Like legit. He will skip a song so fast. Skip.
You
Not going to
are-
listen to that. AC/DC. Not going to listen to that.
You're not wrong.
Well,
There
I'm
you
guessing
go.
it was your playlist, right? You made it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Love it,
Yeah.
love it, love it. So, if you guys listened to the last episode, episode 3, we talked about the vacant Lakers head coaching job and J.J. Redick at the time. Well, the day that we posted the podcast, news came through that Dan Hurley, the UConn men's basketball coach, was a front runner, or the Lakers were talking to him about a massive deal to get him to L.A. to coach. Since then, the Lakers' job is still vacant.
Yep.
They don't have anyone. JJ is back in the front running. JJ Redick, that is. And Dan Hurley turned down the job
Mm-hmm.
For $70 million.
for $70 million. But like the $70 million, if you look at it with, they broke it down with taxes, living, all that stuff out in California. He's only getting paid an extra like $200,000-$300,000 at the Lakers than he would be at UConn. And we can get into that later. But first I want to ask, good idea, bad idea? Should he have taken it? What could LeBron do to his career? What are we thinking? What are we thinking?
Oh, I think it's a great move that
Yeah?
he didn't take it.
That he left it?
You bet.
Because he
Absolutely.
wanted to chase that third championship, which I wouldn't blame him because no other coach has.
That's what he said, too. He said he wasn't leaving right after he finished the last championship.
Yeah.
Right.
I think I texted you right after and I said, this dude should ask for 5
Well-
years, $150 million and see what happens.
Yeah. And the way it sounded to me right away was that they were going to offer him this colossal, like damn near lifetime contract. $70 million over 10 years?
No, it wasn't 10. It was 6
Yes.
or 8.
I can't remember the number of years.
It wasn't that many years.
No.
So I think it's a good move. I think that the way he coaches and what I've seen with him coaching, he is a very good player development coach at the college level. So now he's going to be able to recruit kind of whoever he wants. They won back-to-back national championships, so that makes sense. UConn has always been they were a powerhouse with like Ep.04 and all those guys.
Yeah.
You like that, Poll?
There you go.
What was the other dude with the really long hair? No, that was Gonzaga. Sorry. That was Gonzaga.
That was Morrison.
Yeah, Morrison. But he'll be able to recruit, and he's going for 3 national championships. And I think their 7-footer just came back. He took his name out of the draft. I think. Don't quote me on
The
that.
second
I did
7-footer.
not hear about that.
Oh, the second one?
I think the second
Okay, that
7-footer.
would make
But
more sense.
Yeah.
yeah, he's building something in stores again that, and I'm not a UConn guy, but the way their offense is fabulous. They play
Yeah.
defense.
Yep.
They run. They shoot. Yeah, that was a great move on his part. Why? No, don't go to the pros.
Yeah.
No.
So, and then I saw a tweet or a rumor or something from LeBron James saying, don't, to the Lakers organization, do not come to the Lakers. Don't get a coach for me. You need to get a coach for Anthony Davis in the future. Because honestly, and we talked about this,
Still have no idea where LeBron's going or how long he's lasting.
who knows what he's going to do? I think he's going to stay with the Lakers because they're going to put a team together that's going to compete, I think. But his kid's coming into the league, and we've talked about that a little bit. He's almost done. He's been in the league for 23 years.
Yeah, exactly. And plus, you don't. I wouldn't want to deal with any of that. And I'm not a LeBron hater either. I just wouldn't want to deal with the crap. And especially now with the Bronny thing coming, no, you don't want anything to do with that.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Well, at the rate the coaches are getting out of there.
Yeah, no.
When you're with LeBron is a little scary.
You don't want that. That's the big thing. I mean, if you look at it all, I don't. You don't want to deal. The pros is a whole different deal, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later. College to pro kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is, to me, is I don't want anything to do. The Lakers organization is not exactly a smooth running deal either.
No.
And then you add LeBron to the mix, and you add the kid. To me, that's the big deal. Because what are you going to do? Even if they draft him, let's say they draft him at 37 or whatever the hell it is, right?
That'd be high for him, at least with his projections
well,
now.
I think. Well, that's the
But
point.
for the Lakers to get him, they have
Oh,
to
the
get
Lakers
him
would have to move up.
before someone steals him from their last pick.
Yep.
Yeah, and aren't the Lakers sitting at like 37 or something like that?
It's somewhere in that area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
So,
up there because, his projection went from not getting drafted to being almost on the number for the Lakers draft pick after the combine. I remember seeing that.
And me too. And I think that's hype. That's media generated hype. He's not a pro. You want to talk about that? But he's not a pro player.
Not yet.
No, not even close.
I think he has the talent to.
Okay, maybe.
Yeah.
But in 2 years, if he stayed in college, maybe.
Yeah.
But right now, not even close. And you add that to the mix, and no matter what LeBron says, if you don't draft him, he'll be pissed. If you draft him, then you got to play him. You think LeBron's going to want his kids sitting there? We got to play together, son and it'd be a mess. It'd be an absolute mess.
I'd be here for it. I'd watch it.
I mean, it'd be really unfortunate for him too, though. He's getting in too early, and it's going to ruin his career basically.
Yeah.
If he's not ready for it.
I do agree with that. So Hurley's a no-go. He's back at UConn, so UConn's restructuring his contract to extend or give him a new contract.
Yeah.
That is in the range of, I want to say 6 years, $70 million is the last time I saw. So pretty much the same contract he would get at the Lakers, but he would get at UConn, which I think is so smart. And it's leverage. That's a big thing too. So do you think Dan Hurley did this for leverage? Like, hey, I'm just going to go do this. And I don't think so either.
I don't think so.
I think he just fell into a perfect position.
Yep. Yep.
And how does his name come up even with? Because LeBron,
Championships.
two championships. Because so that can kind of lead into this next question. But real quick, 2 championships, a good players coach.
Yeah.
I think people like him.
They do, and he's innovative. That offense that he runs at UConn is fun to watch. It's not. It's tons of motion and tons of screens. No one standing around. I mean, it's a great way to play basketball. So, in winning 2 championships, and the Lakers need a splash. Come on,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
they need a splash, and he's the guy. But smart move on his part, man. Stay there, make money. Now you got to deal with the NIL and crap, but that's still way less of a hassle than messing with the freaking Lakers in the NBA and those egos and stuff. And oh no.
Oh yeah.
Does he get his 3rd championship?
No.
Probably not.
I don't think.
I don't know.
They're going to be good, but I don't think they're going to
They'll make
three-peat.
it Final Four at least, but
Yeah.
I don't know their recruiting class.
Oh, right now I think
It's probably pretty high.
the
but
last poll that I saw, they had them sitting at like the way too early polls, obviously, but they had
for
them
a
sitting at like
championship or
7.
recruiting class.
No, just straight up where they rank. The top
Gotcha.
25.
Yeah.
They were, I think, sitting at 7 or 8. I think people had them at.
okay.
That's which
How many
makes
other players
sense.
did they lose? They obviously lost their center. But
I want to say they lost a handful.
I think they
like,
lost 3. I think
Yeah.
they lost 3 for
But-
sure.
That was such like a good, solid, all-around team that you really don't
Yeah.
know about those 3. And we've touched on it, Trevor, I, and Matt. Matt, we miss you, by the way. Hope you're listening. We talked about that, how we don't really know many people in this draft class.
no.
Like, we don't know really who's coming out. And I've mentioned the Tennessee kid. He left.
Dalton Connect left.
Yep,
yeah.
which
well,
he was
he's
what?
done. He was done.
Oh, he was?
Yeah. He
Connect was
last
done.
year.
Oh.
That was his last year. He was
And
a
he
fifth.
was 5, right? Yeah.
He was a 5th-year guy.
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Where
he
did
didn't leave early.
Where did he come from?
He came from a community college in Colorado for 2 years. Then he went to Northern Colorado and was the player of the year there for 2 years in a row.
D1.
That's D1.
Yep, and then he transferred
And
to
then
Tennessee.
he transferred to Tennessee.
He was a lot of fun to watch, but he didn't have anyone helping him out on offense. That's for sure.
No, well, they every now and then. I'm a season ticket holder, by the way, people.
Go Vols.
For UT, go Vols. So there were times when they got into almost the pro set, they would just throw him the ball and let him work.
Well, that's how the last game of the tournament kind of felt. Is they were trying to do that, but once you get to those really good defensive teams, like you need more than one guy.
Because they lost to Purdue, right? They lost to Purdue.
Yeah, they lost to Purdue.
They couldn't handle good old 7'3" Edie.
No.
Couldn't handle fouls called for people breathing too hard.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, that too.
Thank you for that, Trevor. Yeah, that was a bit that
was hard to watch.
Ridiculous, but
Quiz question for you both.
yo,
20 years ago, the same situation happened. Kobe was playing on the Lakers. Who was the coach that the Lakers went after, and ultimately he said no? Do you guys know?
I think I do, yes.
You can take a guess.
I got nothing.
Coach K.
Yeah.
Oh.
They pursued Coach K. Was that, so 20 years ago, that was in 94. He came on, he won back-to-back in 91 and 92.
Yeah, that was in his powerhouse days
Yep.
with
So they did the same exact thing.
yes.
So if Coach K were to move to, we all know Coach K's resume, whether you hate him or not, and how good of a coach he is on the college level and the international level, coaching these higher level athletes, and they actually enjoy him. They like Coach K.
Yes.
Kobe, LeBron, Durant, like they all have said that, and I've watched things on that. What does the jump from college to NBA do to these top level coaches?
Well, you lose control.
Yep.
So it's an ego manager. You're an ego manager at the NBA level, in my opinion. You got to handle all the, am I getting the ball enough? Even though they claim they want to be team, centric.
Mm-hmm.
It's ego management.
There's lots of money involved.
Oh yeah, that's the point. It's ego management. And then I think you don't see all the behind the scenes stuff either with the owners and stuff. Because if you're paying a guy $6-7 million or whatever you're paying him, or even more now in these days, if you're not playing them, they're getting pressure from the top. It's an investment.
Yeah.
So, but I think it's ego management. Take the money and run. I got no issue with that. Like if Hurley would have went,
Yeah.
to me it's a money grab. To me it's a money grab, in my opinion.
If coaches were to leave,
Yes.
like, hey, I'm just going to go get this money
Yeah.
and see what happens after that.
Yeah, because they claim. I'm sorry, if they claim, I'm going to coach the best basketball players in the world, and you are because
Yep.
they're professionals.
Yeah.
But it's not the same kind of coaching. It's not the development, and it's not.
Yeah.
You're not coaching. It's a pick and roll game.
Yep.
It's one pass and launch it.
Yeah, like look
I
at
mean,
look
it
at the
is.
Pacers, look at the Celtics at times. Yeah, you're right. It's
Golden State.
Golden
come
State
on.
when they were in their prime. Yeah.
Yeah, it's literally and I've read some stuff on this too, like guys that do the international thing, like the coaches that go into the international game, like for the World Games or something, and they drop that shot clock down from 30 to 24.
There it is.
I've read.
He muted
Yeah,
himself.
how about it?
What a rookie.
Sorry, people, but I've read those coaches go. You've got time for literally that. You go down, you set a pick, you maybe run one other thing, you make two passes, and you got to shoot it. It's just like,
Yep.
Yep.
and that's me. But
So off of that real quick, and we'll wrap up our Let's Think About It question with this whole coaching college to NBA talk. Who are the other two coaches from the college level to make the jump to the NBA level who actually have put in the time and have a pretty darn good reputation when it comes to coaching at that level? And they've done it well on both sides. Do you know?
well, the two guys that are in it right now.
Well, in it right now, yeah. Let's just talk about the two guys who are in it right now. Because when I did look up this question. I really didn't see anyone besides these two because these are the two that everyone talks about when it comes to this question.
Billy Donovan is the one.
Yep, and he coached where?
Florida.
And he won back-to-back,
and he did the same thing. Yes.
Did he leave right after back-to-back championships?
It was 1 or 2 years max.
And he went to Oklahoma City.
Right.
And he had a team.
Yeah.
Durant, Westbrook, and
there's another
and
example
Harden.
of handling egos, and you better do it immediately, or otherwise you're in some trouble.
And didn't he make it to the playoffs a couple times?
But I think they made the
did great.
playoffs,
Yeah.
but they didn't do anything beyond that.
So
there's
made
the-
a final. Was the finals run with them, or with
I
him?
think it was with him. Yeah.
Oh, I don't
You know,
think
was he on
I
the-
don't think Donovan was on that was coaching it when they made
He was
when
on
they
the
made
Bulls at
run.
that time.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think he did.
So he did it, and he's still coaching.
Yeah.
And then the other one is Brad Stevens.
Yeah. And I think he did it. I think he is a better pro coach than Donovan. Because he was with the Celts and he built that team. He basically kind of built that team. Celtics weren't that great when he showed up. When he showed up there.
I wish I had the list of what he did because you're right. He coached for 3 years.
At least 3, yeah.
And then he moved into the GM role.
Yeah.
He brought in everyone to surround Tatum and Brown because they drafted them back-to-back years in the 3 spot. And I was like, oh, man. They let Tatum go to the 3 spot, but I also don't know their draft classes. There's had to be some studs in that class, too, to let those two individuals drop.
Yeah. I think
So-
Stevens was the right guy for the Celtics. I'm a Celtics fan. I mean, I'm a Celtics guy, but
Yeah, and look at them now.
yeah.
They're
And-
playing tomorrow for a NBA championship.
But basically, one more thing on that little jump you're talking about.
Yeah.
So, but really, do you hear about Donovan anymore?
No.
Not much.
There's my point of jumping from the college to the pros too.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you make that run every year and you get that big time reputation in the pro, Billy Donovan would be a legend at the college level. You think he'd still be recruiting
winning.
crap like in Florida. He'd be,
Oh, yeah.
He'd be 20 years in now, probably dang near. But you don't, he goes to the pros. Take the money again. I don't care. But you don't hear about him anymore.
No.
You
And
know,
you really don't hear about Stevens anymore because he's not
No, 'cause
actually he's not coaching.
Yeah, he's
But
up in the-
he's
yeah.
done
So-
some special things to that Celtics
So
team.
yeah, Bobby, Danny Hurley, stay in stores, become a legend,
Yep.
be done, get paid.
I'm on their bandwagon, honestly. I'm a really big Duke guy, and their recruiting class for Duke, which we can talk about on other podcasts, they have 5 5-star recruits and a couple 4-star recruits. If they can get their chemistry down, they're going to be a team to wreck people, I think. But it's a college game. They're bigger, stronger, faster. We can get into all that stuff, and you got high schoolers coming out and transfers coming in, so that'll be interesting.
And I'll still hope they lose.
And yeah, Trevor's going to be like, yeah.
Well, the trend is going the opposite way too. Look at Calipari. He was making the Final Four of the championship every year with those 5 freshmen, and they'd all leave the next year.
True.
And they haven't. You don't see that team doing Houston. This year Tennessee, UConn was old. It's back to the old
Purdue was old.
It's back to the old days.
Yeah.
Yep.
When you got a lot of juniors and seniors, and even sophomores who played a ton
So Duke,
that are making runs.
Which I
Duke-
really like to see because you see more team chemistry
Oh,
and
it's-
less of just a solo player going out and doing
Exactly. The basketball is way
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
And that's
Trevor,
what
you're
Duke
right.
kind of did with their backcourt, which is good. You have floor generals or floor
Yep.
leaders out there that are staying around with Proctor and the other dude who's a shooter. I'm going to blank on his name, and I bet you guys won't get it either. He fractured his foot at the end of the year, so
No,
he
I
didn't
can't
really play
remember.
much.
Yeah.
But they brought in 6'7", 6'9", 6'8". They got a
yeah.
transfer from Purdue who's a 5th year that he said, hey, I can't play anymore. And
Yeah.
he reached out to Shire and was like, oh, yeah, we're going to play
Yeah.
him there. So,
Yeah.
no, that's pretty cool. Sweet. Yeah, it's an interesting jump for those guys. Like you said, could be a money grab, but there are a couple that worked out.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wish them luck. Go
Do what you
UConn
got.
until they face Duke in the national championship.
They're fun to watch.
And then
I'm not
continue going UConn.
Stop.
I'm not a UConn guy, but they're fun to watch, man.
Stop
Hey,
that,
they won
Trevor.
me some money this year from our brackets.
Did you end up winning that?
Yeah.
Nice.
Thanks to UConn.
Oh, you're right, man.
Drew did too.
Man. Sweet. How about those Celtics? One game away from
not even fair.
One game away from a NBA championship, huh?
They're going to take care of business.
It's really, besides this last game, it's been, and even this last game was embarrassing the reverse way, but it's been an embarrassing series. Like,
yeah,
it's
it's
not
been
that fun to
all
watch.
one-sided games up
unless
to
you're
this
a Celtics
point.
fan.
Unless
if you're a Celtics
Celtics fan,
then it's fun to watch. But
I
for just
do-
a fan of the NBA,
and that's what Trevor's pulling for right now. Good games.
yeah, let's see a
and
couple
the
good
Mavericks
games.
probably.
I don't really care who wins the series, but I'd like to see it a couple more games and close ones. Can we see one close game, please?
Yeah.
Didn't you get enough close games with
No,
the
because
Timberwolves?
I was stressing out in the Timberwolves one.
You couldn't sit and watch and
Yeah.
enjoy those?
I want to enjoy one.
Oh, man. With that being said, where does this rank in the hierarchy of Celtics championships?
Oh, my. It's average.
Average. So it doesn't feel like it touches the greatness of Russell Bird in the Big Three era.
Not even
And
close.
you would know, not even close. And you
Not
watched
even
those
close.
games, right?
We watched those games.
Yeah.
That was back in the Lakers, Lakers Magic. Showtime was going on literally.
Which was Magic, Perry,
Magic, Worthy,
Worthy.
Kareem, Byron, and Cooper.
Okay. And then
we're the big five.
Celtics had.
Larry,
Yep.
Kevin McHale,
Yep.
U of M, Gophers people. Parrish, Dennis Johnson, Danny Ainge,
Walton for two of those,
Walton
right?
for
Or
one of them.
One
Walton
of
for one of them. Yeah, I mean they had a bench. They had a bench sitting there too. But yeah, those. No, this Lakers team, or excuse me, Celtics team, couldn't handle that team. And I'm not even trying to go, the old
No, you're fine.
NBA's better.
Because of the style of play, because of the era, because of...
I think all around talent. I don't think you got no one. You couldn't guard Larry. Who's guarding Bird? Number one, let's start with Larry. People still bag on him. Oh, he wasn't that good. Oh, watch the guy. But who's
he
guard?
played a game lefty and he scored like
Yeah.
40 points, didn't he?
He
He's
literally.
like, I'm just going to go out and play lefty.
He literally said, "I'm going to shoot left-handed tonight all night." And the guys went, "What? Yeah, I'm going to." And he scored 32.
I didn't believe it, and I actually watched the highlights.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, he did.
Yeah, played left-handed all night.
Unreal.
So who's guarding Larry? Put Tatum on him. Okay, that's fine. But then who's guarding Parrish? The guy who's guarding McHale? There's the
How
guy,
big was he?
6'11".
Okay.
You look up Charles
You
Barkley.
need a healthy Porzingis, I suppose. And
Yeah.
Look up Charles Barkley's quotes on Kevin McHale. He said he was the guy on that Celtics team that drove him. He goes, McHale was unguardable.
He was, and that was back then when there was like true post players.
Oh yeah,
They were running things through the post. They were doing.
Well, it was a more physical game, so you could
Oh
actually
yeah.
do something.
Yeah,
like-
exactly.
Oh,
You can
yeah.
body people up and stuff.
And and he was their power forward. He was their forward. Parrish was their center.
Yep.
Robert
Okay.
Parrish was their center. McHale was Elijah Wan before Elijah Wan. The shimmy shake and the
Yep.
Yep.
6 different moves. McHale was an up and under fatal. Yeah, that guy. Yeah. That team was crazy. I like this team. I mean,
They're fun to
with
watch.
the Celts, but they couldn't play with. And they ran and they shot it. I mean, it wasn't like it was just grind them down, but when they needed to, they did. So yeah.
Speaking of these older eras, I know this throws it a little off of where we were going, but like, how do you guys live in Chicago for how long you guys lived in Chicago and not enjoy the Bulls?
I was born in 91 and Jordan he won in 91, 92, 93. No. Yeah, 91, 92, 93, 6, 7, and 8. No, that can't be right.
That's off.
Late 80s, early 90s, wasn't it? 83, 4, 5, and then like.
No,
80
he came in at
No,
that
it
time.
was-
I don't know. Yeah.
I think it was 94, 95, 96.
That sounds
yeah,
right.
94,
Yeah, okay.
95, 96, 98.
So then he would have had 97 off, 98.
No,
that
he
can't be
didn't
right
win in
either, so-
2000s. I don't know. I was too young. And then you were a Celtics fan, so I
I was a
I've
Celtics
never I
fan.
never came up watching the Bulls.
Yeah.
So
And you know what it really was, Trevor? All those freaking Chicago people that were just honks. Like everybody else just sucked. I mean, they were good. I mean,
So
they
it's
were
like why
really
everyone
good.
doesn't like the Philadelphia
Fans,
basically.
It's sort of like, okay, yeah, they're good, but it was
Yeah.
stop it. But I mean, they were really good. They were fun to watch. I mean, MJ. I mean, come on,
Yep.
the guy was
unreal.
unreal.
Yeah.
I mean, you talk about one of the greatest series. You talk about Chicago when they couldn't beat the Celtics for 2 years in a row when the Celts were still the
so
Celtics.
I think that was in the late 80s because
Yeah.
You had your years right for the championships.
I?
91, 92, 93, and then 96, 97, 98.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which
It was
your
late
first
80s
one,
because
so-
he scored like 50 and like 60 against the Celtics and they got beat. But he went nuts.
Jordan
Yeah.
did.
Jordan
Yeah,
did.
Yeah.
And that's when Larry literally went, Michael Jordan is the best player in the world.
Well,
At that time. He
And
literally
then
went, Mike
in
is...
'92, the Dream Team came along. Larry was at the
Yeah.
end of his career. Magic was at the end of his career. Jordan was the young
he
pup.
was the man.
I think I already know your answer, but we asked this on a previous session. Can the current Dream Team beat the Dream Team from back then?
No.
Yeah.
Can the team?
Not
Can the
even
team they
close.
put together this year beat them?
No.
If all players were in their prime. Well, no,
Yeah,
that even makes it,
well,
I think, more.
Yeah, that makes it worse.
Yeah, that makes it
Almost.
worse.
I don't know how you would do it.
Because Larry and Magic in their prime.
I mean, it has
Oh,
to be
come
in
on.
their prime, though. Otherwise, there's not really.
Well,
Well, it has to be the year that they're playing on the team. So, like, the year that the Dream Team was made, the players at that age in that team.
Okay.
And then the players of the age right now in this team.
That's Michael Jordan in his prime.
One
yeah,
of-
I know. So they're
if you put him, nobody, just that team against this team, no way. Once again, who's guarding Mike? And then you got David Robinson and Charles.
Barkle,
You
yeah,
have freaking
Charles.
Barkley. And Magic was still rolling then.
But you also have to remember. Well, okay.
Christian
We're talking
Laettner,
Olympic
don't forget
rules,
about
so
him.
that also means things are a little bit different. But say it's just the NBA rules. Do they win with the refs calling it the way they call it these days in the NBA?
Who?
The current
The current team.
Oh, yeah, because they'd still lock him up. You
Hang
don't
on.
think Mikey and Pippen and those boys and
Oh, no,
yeah,
I don't
Pippen
doubt it
was
one
on
bit.
that
can't
team,
play freaking
I don't know. They might throw a punch and get
well,
ejected
maybe,
at some
but
point,
but no, they'd lock him up.
Yeah.
I really do.
The
And
Last
if-
Dance documentary, which was amazing when it talked about that, and they went over the Dream Team a little bit when they played Kukoc, and Kukoc ultimately ended up on the Bulls, and he was a stud too.
Yeah, he was good.
Pippen and Jordan said no one else is guarding him besides us two.
Yeah.
And who was the coach at the time for the '92 Olympics? Who was
The Pistons the
bad boys?
the Pistons coach.
That era. Yeah, it doesn't matter. And he's like, okay, he didn't score a lick. He didn't score. And then Kukoc afterwards in the Last Dance documentary said, I couldn't do anything. Those dudes literally locked me down, and I could not do anything to score, get open, do any of that stuff.
Well, they
So,
didn't like him either. You know that, right?
I do know that. Yeah.
They hated Jerry Krause. Those guys hated Jerry Krause, who built the Chicago Bulls.
Yeah.
And he pulled Kukoc in there basically to kind of stick it to
Yeah.
Mike and those guys.
Yeah.
And they went, I was about ready to swear on your podcast.
There's a button that can go beep.
Yeah, but they basically went, screw you, Jerry. And that's why they did that. They went, we're shutting this boy
This thing
down. You know, you played against his kid, right, Taylor?
Yeah, Kukoc. Yeah, a
Yeah.
couple times.
Yeah.
His kid was good. He was tall.
Yeah,
he was
he was
tall and
tall.
lanky, but
Yeah.
he was a shooter. He really didn't
Yeah,
do
he
much
didn't do
inside.
anything. No.
So played against him. If you're the Mavericks, what do you do from here? How are you approaching this next game?
The next game,
Like Monday.
you come back
In
and you do the
Boston.
same thing you did. You hit your shots, and you hope the Celtics don't show up. Because I don't know how the Mavs stop the Celtics when they do show up. They have too many players. The Mavs have two. Between the two of them, they have to score 70 points, basically, or their team loses.
That is true. What they scored last game. I think Luka had his 30. Kyrie had his, 25 to 27?
Didn't Luka
Something
have
around there.
24 in the first half?
Yeah, he was going off. He was playing like he was playing against the Timberwolves. Sorry to
Right.
say that, Trevor. But he was
Yeah,
getting to his
right.
spots, and he was shooting and making things. So
Yep.
I think you make Luka play as much defense as he possibly has to.
That's why the Timberwolves failed, or one of the big reasons. They did not force that to happen.
Yeah, and the Celtics were doing that, and I know it's but that's to me. Mavs got to play a perfect game like they have.
Exactly.
Yeah, because
If they
didn't Tatum and Brown have a really good game? They were the only two guys that basically did anything the other night, wasn't it?
They did all right, but I mean,
I think they had their normal.
the
But
they also
starters
didn't
were
play.
out. For the whole
3
minutes left in the third and on.
Absolutely. I wouldn't have played any of those guys.
Yeah, no, it wasn't worth it.
Does this settle the Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum can't play together narrative?
They still haven't won.
You're right. They still haven't won, but they're playing, and they still do you shoot, I shoot, I think, and we've all talked
Tatum's
about that.
been doing a lot of that right now.
Like
Brown's been playing at a rate where he should have the ball a lot.
Brown has showed up. He learned how to dribble with his left hand. Neither of the two dudes can really finish at the rim, though. Have you guys noticed that? Like, they'll drive in
but
there.
There's been a lot of people in the NBA that have been surprisingly bad at doing that this year.
Unless they're throwing down on people. Like, Tatum will go in and I don't know if he's looking for contact or trying to get a foul, which a lot of those guys do.
Today's NBA.
Yes,
Yay.
correct.
And then they throw it up. It's like, well, if you go up strong, and again, I'm not in the NBA, but if you go up strong and you're going to make the shot, if they call the foul, they call the foul, great. If you get hammered and you make the shot, well, okay, hopefully they call the foul.
Yep.
It's like I think they're just looking for contact and going from there.
That's one thing
I think they can play
appreciate
together.
about Anthony Edwards. Still young enough that he actually tries to make the buckets.
That is true.
Who knows what
he
will
goes
happen
in
in the
there
next
at a
few years when
million
he
miles
gets
an hour.
Superstar calls, but
And I think a lot of those guys are looking for that.
Yep.
Like when they go in fairly hard, they think they're going to, today's NBA, like you said, Trevor, they think they're going to get that call. And when they don't, it's all the hands up shit.
you just throw the ball. And
go to the damn rim and you're going to get that
we were
call.
talking about this last session, too, that Luka takes a layup and he doesn't even look if it went in or not. He looks at the ref immediately just to see, are you calling the foul?
Yeah, it's the old Karl Malone crap.
Luka, though, he fouled someone last game. He didn't complain. He raised his hand, actually.
One time.
Because
he
one
probably
time.
hit
And he
him
fouled
hard.
out. Not last game, sorry, the game
Yeah,
before.
but he complained a lot about that one.
Did he?
That was the big bitch. The media were like, okay, enough of the whining and crap. There were even people besides laymen talking about that.
Yeah.
That was weird. I heard a lot of people saying that the that the refs were calling it unfair for the Mavs in that game, and I actually thought they were calling it in the Mavs' favor for a lot of things.
Yeah.
And the Mavs were just doing really stupid moves that were actually fouls.
I think they gotta play perfect. I think the Celts get them
in Boston. Yeah,
I think the Celts get them in Boston.
I would agree. I think Brown
right
and Tatum
away or after one more.
Oh yeah.
No, this one's done in 5.
The Celtics do like to drop them though.
Yeah, I think it's done in 5 though.
Yeah.
Did I say? I said 6. I think
We
we both
said
said 6. Matt said sweep.
Did he?
For the other way for Mavs.
Yeah, he went sweep for the Mavs.
What?
I think he forgot how deep the Celtics actually are. But
we love Matt, but I think
mean,
he was playing a little bit of
devil's advocate there or something?
Maybe, I don't know.
I was thinking the West was so good, and the Mavs made it through all those teams, and they had actually a tough schedule. They had to play OKC, who they barely beat. They had to play the Timberwolves, who were looking really good defensively and everything. And then they're playing the Celtics, who came across the Pacers, who no one really expected to do great. They're shooting amazing. The Heat without Jimmy Butler.
And the Cavs without... did they play the Cavs? No.
Who did they play the first? Either way, they had the Bucks.
The Bucks.
Without Giannis
Dame and
Dame.
Giannis.
So, they just had a cakewalk.
Yeah.
And then people kind of forgot, no, they actually have a good team. They just happen to play teams that...
Well, didn't they have one of the best records in the NBA?
Yeah. But, I mean, they're playing a lot of the East multiple times, which is...
Still, I mean...
Yeah.
Porzingis is the key, not the keep. If Porzingis can actually play some minutes again...
I don't know if he will, though.
He was available last game. With that injury
the last one when he was ruled out, wasn't it?
No, he was on the bench. They said he could have played.
He was available in special situations.
Oh.
Whatever that means.
They had a
Yeah.
special situation where they're getting their butts kicked.
Yeah, I'd put him in off the bench.
So that's why,
Yeah.
another day of rest for you.
Yeah.
That is a very rare, interesting injury from what I know with being a chiro
Yeah, it
and
sounded like he
dealing with
wasn't
that kind of
hurt,
stuff.
But he's in a spot where he could get hurt badly. Or
Yeah,
something.
so what that little piece of ligament is doing is keeping the knee stable on one side. He probably could brace it up.
That's what I was going to ask, yeah.
He probably could brace it up real good and tape it up and play. I've never had the injury. I've never seen the injury. It's loose, so I don't know what that's going to do to his knee. And at that level, how well those guys know their body, I think that's going to mess with his head. It's like you're just cautious when you go out there and play. So,
Right.
excuse me, it'll be interesting to see if he plays, because they're not starting him. They're going to start Uncle Al
Yeah.
now for the remainder of the time. So
That guy's still even in the NBA.
15 playoffs strong.
It's like
Still hitting
crazy to me, man.
Love it. Which team? These are all questions from Matt, by the way. Appreciate you, Matt. Still putting in the work, leading this podcast without even being here. Happy soon to be Father's Day to you, my man, too. That can be held on a different podcast as well. But here's another question. Which team in the NBA is your early pick to win the 2025 championship? We got the Celtics up at top at plus 300, Nuggets, Timberwolves, Mavs, Thunder, Bucks. He gives us a lot more, but out of those, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Well, even do you think the Celtics pull it off again? Well, let's assume they pull it off this year because it look very likely.
I think the Celtics are going to pull it off this year. Whether they drop another one, I think they're going to be able to get one more win.
What were the
Will
top
they
three
pull it
there?
off next year, though?
That's the thing. They're going to have to make some moves. Al Horford's going to be gone. Not like that really means anything. What are they going to do with Derek White? What are they going to do with Drew Holiday? What are they going to do? Tatum and Brown are locked in for a little bit. What other weapons can they kind of get around them? But Pops asked, what are the top three? What, 5 or 3? I'll give you the top 5.
Yeah.
Celtics, Nuggets, Timberwolves, Mavs, Thunder.
I think those top 2 are your top 2.
You think the
yeah.
Celtics and Nuggets are going to be the
I actually
top
think
contenders?
The Nuggets
Yeah.
win it next year.
The Nuggets are, they're freaking good. yeah.
The only thing will be if I think we talked about this before too. If Jokic just decides I want to spend time with my horses and I don't want to play basketball,
I'm going to go
anymore."
back to my country and just hang
Yeah.
out with my horses.
I think those 2 are the top, though.
Yep.
I think
What
those
about the Timber Puppies?
Timberwolves can pull it off, but it's Minnesota. That's all I have to say.
There it
Nothing
is.
more. They're a great team.
Now,
Hopefully we run it back with something similar and with more years of experience, but it's Minnesota. It's cursed.
I like
love
the
it.
Minnesota angst. Here's my deal on the Wolves. They're still pretty young.
Yep.
Do they have the patience to lose a couple more? Does the organization panic
No, the organization will panic.
and
That's
that's
Like
sports
lose a couple
nowadays,
more, yeah.
right?
Lose a couple more playoff series, like a couple more years, like
Yeah.
wait
Yeah, you
until
have to
like
wait it out to get
2027.
your guys into their
You know,
prime.
it's the same stuff. You know,
I got you.
how long did the Bulls lost? 3 or 4 years. They got beat by Detroit all those years,
Yeah.
and then the Celtics beat
Celtics
them a
1 year.
couple times.
And we're also not a big organization. Like you got to be keeping your guys happy too. You can't want them out.
Well, that's the that's what I meant by the whole running out of patience.
Yep.
The organization, the
Everybody,
whole
yeah.
place.
Yep.
You know, does the Ant-Man get all pissy because we didn't win twice? I hate the guys chasing rings. There's the thing. The whole chasing ring thing.
Well, chase a ring, but
Drives
chase it
me
at your current.
Well, but they don't.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah.
And that drives me nuts. It drives me absolutely crazy.
Ant is still young enough, though, and I like his interviews. I like how he plays. I like his attitude. He just goes out there. He likes the game so much. He just goes and plays basketball.
He seems to like it here too, right?
Yeah,
it
so
seems to
far.
like that he likes it here.
Yeah.
So
But he has talked about. I know Matt brought this up too. That he's talked about Atlanta because that's where he's from.
Yeah, he went to
but-
Georgia and then
yeah,
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm just I'd say the top 2 though are your Jokic is that guy.
Jokic is wild.
Unreal.
And the surrounding crew they have around him is
Yeah.
just
Yeah, they're
They've set that up really well.
they're
And they
good.
had the patience to wait for
That's what
success.
I mean. That's what I mean.
Love
Yep.
it. No, there's a sports talk. Let's get into some random fun stuff. So Pops, Mom,
What?
and Dad are now living in Knoxville, Tennessee. You guys been there for how long?
Working on 6 years.
6 years. Really? I thought it was longer than that.
Nope.
6 years.
Nope. 6 years.
You guys are avid brewery hoppers.
We like it.
Yeah. So give me your, and then Trevor and I have been to some breweries in Tennessee.
Yeah, I'll try to remember any names
I
that
know.
I can, but
I know like maybe 3.
I know one for sure. We just had one of them
Zool?
for their beers today. Yeah.
Let's talk about that real quick. Zool comes out with a peanut butter and jelly mixtape beer. This beer is the absolute closest thing you can get. It's a sour, right?
Yep.
Technically, yeah.
It's the absolute closest thing you can get to a true peanut butter liquefied Smucker's drink. And I'm not even kidding when I say this. And Dad doesn't drink sours. You tried it though, right?
I tried it, yes. Yeah.
But
You
man,
could taste the bread.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could taste, obviously, the jam, whatever jam you're talking about.
Yep.
Blackberry, strawberry, grape.
Raspberry
and
we have here.
raspberry. And the peanut butter. It's literally, you can taste all the flavors. That's
It's
the
unreal.
crazy.
And we had a sample of the blackberry or wild berry before we came down here and did the pod, and we have a strawberry and raspberry in the fridge. They don't do that often, right? You guys got that at an event where they literally
Right.
just did a PB and jelly mixtape
Event.
where you can come buy cases.
Yeah, we showed up. We were going to go down there. The place opened up, I think, at noon or 1. I think it was 1 that day. It doesn't matter. We got there. We drove by the place at 11 o'clock, and the line was about 4 blocks long to get into the joint to get this stuff.
And you guys still got in and
We went at
Yeah.
about 3:30. We went to
okay.
a yeehaw. We went to a place. We went. I'm not standing in line for that.
Yeah.
But so just we went up the street and hung out for a while, and then we went there at 3:30, and it was still packed. You know,
That's crazy.
They did pallets,
Yeah.
literally pallets of cases of this beer. Yeah, it was nuts. I have no idea the amount of money they made. Oh my, that had to. It's crazy.
So we had Mom and Dad bring down a couple cases of the PB&J mixtape, and we're going to talk about this here quickly or soon. We're going down to Tennessee in October for the Alabama and
They should
Tennessee.
make some more of that PB&J.
I was just going to say, we're going to go down there, and we're really considering driving so we can bring it back
Assuming
and just
they have
fill
it.
up the trunk.
You'd be smart.
So, no, that's going to be good.
Shout out to Zool. Make some PB&J stuff by
Shout
like
out to
October
Zool.
18th.
Oh man.
Besides Zool, what are your top 2 other breweries that you guys frequent in Tennessee, Knoxville area, if you are going to go visit? Because Knoxville's a great place. They have a lot going on.
Yeah, Knoxville is a little town in a big city vibe.
Yep.
You can walk it. It's fabulous. Okay, breweries. Hexagon.
Actually, name the top 5.
Hexagon is our favorite.
Yep.
And that's a little north of the city, but it's the best, top to bottom. That everybody we've been there, the beer is fabulous. You can have any of their beers, and they're good.
I will second that.
That
Yep.
doesn't happen very often. I mean, you go to a lot of breweries and there's 2 or 3, and but they've got 17 beers on tap, and everybody that's ever drank any of them, they're like, "Oh, that's a good beer." My daughter's boyfriend, Drew. Hey, Drew, if
Hi,
you're
Drew.
listening, drinks a whole bunch of stuff. He's a roll of the dice guy.
Yeah, he's
He's
the guy
like-
to ask when I get there. 'cause-
He's a roll of the dice guy, and I'll take a number 9.
Yeah.
But he's had them, yeah. So Hexagon is our number 1. Fabulous. Steve is great. Steve, if you're not listening, but if you listen to the pod, Steve's the owner. But Hexagon's great. The next one's probably
Clinch is good.
oh, thanks for that.
You're
Taylor.
welcome.
I
I'll
would
help
have
you. I'll help you.
Clinch
Into
is
that one.
fabulous.
That's the one with the pond, like the fish in the back.
yeah.
Still not convinced I've been to it.
No? Well, we're going to have to go next time.
We'll go next time.
Okay.
Yeah, those are the top two. That one is a ways out there, but it's by Norris Dam. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful up there.
They have some good ones downtown too.
Yeah,
there's a lot.
Yeah, so downtown we do the little, we'll call it the Crafty Bastard Run. That's the name of the brewery people.
Yep.
You start at Crafty, you walk over to Gypsy Circus, which has a whole bunch of ciders and sours. Then you go to Next Level, which is right there, and then you end at Zool.
For a peanut butter and jelly mixtape.
Yeah. So really the top two are Clinch and Hexagon for us.
Yeah.
And then Next Level, I like their beer. And Zool's all right. The PB&J is crazy. And then South Knox has the print shop and Highwire. I mean, yeah, it's a brewery town. It's very cool.
And besides the world's greatest light beer that we're currently drinking right now, which is
Hams, man.
Hams, obviously not a sponsor, but could be. You're a dark beer drinker, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah. So you're drinking the dark stuff, and then Trevor, you're more IPA, hazy IPA. You like all that.
That's why Zool I thought had really good hazies as well. So I can see why you guys don't find that one as interesting, other than the PB&J. But
yeah, they didn't really have much
I love
dark
their
stuff,
other stuff too.
at least during that season.
They had a Czech. They called it a Czech lager. It was a dark
I can do lagers.
lager. And that wasn't bad. That was
When we
pretty
were there,
good.
I don't think they had a single one. that was
Hardly,
dark.
yeah. Zool really changes their beers out.
Okay.
Like some of these places, they really change what they've got on tap a ton. So if you go in there 1 week and you go in there the next week, you're going to see
Nice.
probably literally 5 to 7 new beers up there. And sometimes that's cool, but when I don't like all the IPAs and stuff, so I need the darkies, and if they're not on there, it's like man, bummer, you know. Anyway, yeah.
We've all been to Nashville. You've been how many times now? 2 or 3?
2.
You've been to Nashville. I've been to Nashville. Let's go top 2 bars for everyone in Nashville that you like, that you enjoy. You can start, Dad.
Robert's
Western World.
Western World is the bar in Nashville.
That is, you and Mom. When we went up there last, it was me, Danielle, Mom, Dad, Trevor, Michaela. That was it, right?
Yep.
Yeah, we took off, and you guys stayed in there for a while.
Oh yeah, it's old school. It's real country music, and
I
it's
like that one later at night too. It stays good the whole time.
Yeah.
Yep. And it's $3 Pabst Blue Ribbon beers.
That's
Yeah,
about the only place you're going to find a $3 beer in
That's what I'm
Nashville.
saying.
Gotta be
Oh,
the
yeah.
only place.
Oh,
The
yeah.
only place.
Yeah, it's not $8 7 ounces.
Yeah.
So Robert's Western World
Yep.
and Losers that we went to
Oh, around the corner.
around
that,
the corner.
that was off the beaten
is
path.
good,
Or not
and-
really off the beaten path, but yeah, around the corner.
Yeah, and then right across the street, I'll go. Nudies is good,
Yep.
and then I think it's called Crossroads, Nashville Crossroads.
Man, those hams must be getting to you, because that was 4 and I asked for 2. But hey, good work.
It was quick.
You're drinking the world's greatest light beer, so it really doesn't
It
matter.
was quick, man. I gave you 4 good ones.
Hit me, Trev.
I don't think I can give you favorites because it also depends on the time of the day too. Like
That is a big
I
play.
really liked in the afternoon when you could go to any of the places that are usually busy later on, but like at lunch you can just go sit there and
Yeah.
casually hang out.
That is true.
But music-wise, when it got late, I like listening to that Kid Rock bar. a
Kid
lot.
Rock was nuts. Like, I never got a drink there, but like,
Well, I don't like getting drinks there because it's packed.
atmosphere.
But atmosphere's cool.
so that was the first time I've actually been in the Kid Rock bar with you guys. Atmosphere was nuts. 2-level stage.
Yeah.
There's an upper like gallery area, and then a full floor, and then a big, huge U-shaped bar in the middle.
I just can't do it in the summer again. It's too hot.
Oh.
There's too many people packed into there.
Nashville itself, or just that bar?
That bar. If
Yeah.
you're standing shoulder to shoulder with people in
Yeah.
the middle of, when were we there last time? And it's
Yeah.
like 90 degrees.
It was June or July. Yeah, it was hot.
Anytime in the summertime in Nashville at night, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with you, Trev. You got to go. You can go to any of those places and hear still good music, in the middle of the afternoon,
Yep.
and you're not fighting to get to the bar. And
it's
no.
amazing.
Yeah, no.
That is nice. What's your second one? Do you have a second one?
Probably not, because I would say, for me, at that point, it kind of just depends on the band that showed up.
Okay. So
So-
your music first, and like maybe
For
drinks
the
later.
most part.
Okay. No,
I mean,
that works.
If the music is good, I'll go to any of the bars that
Yeah.
they're at and
You-
go
I was
enjoy
gonna
a
say,
$3 beer. Because
You can't really get
why wouldn't I?
bad. Yeah, you can't really get bad music in Nashville. You hear a lot of the same things, but that's another hour podcast that you can get into about
I think that's
Nashville
why.
music.
You bring me back for that one.
Yeah, I know you're going to be. We won't talk for an hour. You're going to
No, I'll
be the only
good.
one talking for
I'll
an
be
hour.
good.
I like to search for the bar that's not playing the same music as everyone else.
Yeah.
Because everyone's playing like the most recent stuff. I want to hear the stuff that I.
When we went, there was a lot of rock.
Yeah, which I.
There was a lot of like rock covers and
There
stuff
always
like
is
that.
because they're paying them. They're paying them. That's how those guys make money. So if you
Yeah.
give them
Yeah.
$20, they'll try to play any song you ask for.
Yeah, I like Tootsies. I just like Tootsies for like the.
That's another shoulder to shoulder though.
It's shoulder to
For
shoulder.
sure.
I like it for the history.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of where I'm at with that one. We went up there. That was the first one we went to, and at the times we were just buying rounds for each other because it was the easiest. One person go to the bar, you get a bunch of drinks, and you just do it that way. I think Pops ordered a couple like whiskey sevens, and they were Dixie cups.
Oh, yeah?
They were
Yeah.
legit, like a
Yeah.
little bit bigger than Dixie
I felt
cups.
so. I just ordered the same thing that Taylor got, and as soon as I got it, I'm like,
It's like-
you should return this. I don't know.
It was like
if we can, but,
$14.50.
like-
I bought the first round there, and
It was like $14.50 for a little Dixie
yeah.
cup whiskey
Yeah.
seven.
they're 8-ounce, whatever they are. I don't even think they're even
I
10
I think
ounces.
they're like
Yeah.
6.
They were like 6-7 ounces,
And with
that,
ice in it too.
you would-
so,
oh
like-
yeah, and there was 8 of us guys, right? There's 6 or 8 of us.
2, 4, 6, 6 because
Six
Morgan
of
and
us,
Drew
yeah.
weren't there.
Yeah, the bill was like $82
Yeah.
Yeah.
for and that's the problem with Nashville. It's Nash Vegas now.
Yeah.
In they've got a captured audience. They don't give a crap.
Besides Roberts Western Worlds,
Oh,
and I
besides
actually do like
Roberts.
Roberts Western Worlds. I like
Yeah.
90s and 80s country.
Yeah,
I like PBRs and they're pounders, and you can get a
Yeah.
$3 PBR pounder. If you're hungry, you can get a bologna sandwich and a bag of chips for like $5.50.
Where were those Capri Sun things that?
that was losers.
Losers.
Yeah,
Losers?
The
Yeah.
girls
You
got
get
a
one for $8 or
12
for
6 for 20.
yeah,
or
One for
whatever.
Yeah.
8 or 6 for 20.
yeah. Get a bucket.
Yeah.
Shout out to that bartendette because she saved us
Yeah,
money.
she
She was
saved us a lot.
fabulous.
And we
Yeah.
were there. We were the only people in that bar at the time. We were asking the dude for whatever he wanted to play. And
Yeah.
it was pretty sweet.
Yep.
So Nashville's like a 2-day thing for me. I don't
Yeah.
know if I can go any longer than that.
No.
And in the middle of the week, like Trevor said, you got to go in the middle of the week. Stay away from Saturdays
Yeah.
and Sundays,
Yep.
and you still get all the music. It's all fabulous.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
It's good stuff. Trevor, top 2 breweries here in Minnesota or Rochester? What are you thinking? What do you like? What are your go-tos?
My go-to is probably LTS.
LTS? Yeah, you
Yep.
do like LTS.
I like LTS a lot. I do like Little Thistle, which we were just at today.
Yeah. Little
They
Thistle
change-
usually has a pretty good selection, and they
They
change
have
their
a
stuff.
Much wider selection too, and do they have anything dark that you like? I don't.
They
know if
do. So
okay.
it's kind of nice now in Roch. Most breweries are keeping one dark beer
Yeah.
all year round, but I think dark beer is getting more popular to drink all year round.
Yep.
It used to be just
Just
fall
seasonal,
and winter.
Just winter beer. Yeah.
So yeah, it was actually a really good. It was a good stout. So yeah, it was good
For the style that I drink, LTS kind of blows it away. I feel like, for me,
because they have almost all.
Yeah. I don't even need a number 2 really. That's
Just
where I go
LTS.
if you want to guarantee that they're going to have a beer that I like.
LTS. What is that? Life's too short.
Yep.
Nice. Love it, love it, love it. Sweet. There you go. Breweries. There any other breweries you've been to, like in Minnesota, that...
So I have that.
you have the book,
brewery
don't you?
Pass thing, yeah, and I need to use it more. I went to a couple up in the cities, and I can't remember the names of them, but they're all right.
Yeah.
I'm still picking LTS over them though.
I got you. You got... Mom and Dad, you have a brewery tour map, don't you?
Yeah, we did it like 3 years in a row.
You've done it?
Oh yeah.
All of it?
The first 2 years we didn't finish them all. The
Isn't
last
there like
2 years we did.
50-some breweries on
Did you
there?
get one just
Oh,
for
there's like
Knoxville, or
30.
is it like the state?
Oh, it's no Knoxville. Straight up
Jeez.
Knoxville.
Okay.
How
That's
many?
Crazy.
30?
I think there's like 30 different breweries you go to. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's in the area. I mean, it's in the area, but it's
You have to
still
travel
right
a
around
little bit.
Knoxville. It's not that big of a deal. Everything's within a half an hour
Mhm.
of our house. And
True.
we live in North Knox, so yeah.
Love it, love it, love it.
Oh yeah.
October 19th, 2024, Alabama, Tennessee. Trevor, you pumped? Your first tailgating experience in
At least there,
Knoxville, Tennessee?
Yeah, in Knoxville, yeah.
Where else have you tailgated?
I mean, most of it would be NDSU while I was
NDSU?
in college. But
And they were good then, though, weren't they?
yeah, they were great. That was
So
during
that-
their right in the middle of their championship runs.
So that had to be some fun tailgating. Like,
Oh,
it
yeah,
wasn't
a
just
lot of
like,
fun.
oh, we're going to go tailgating.
And what do you think North Dakota does besides tailgating?
Yeah,
Like,
man. In the wintertime?
Yeah.
Football
Doesn't
and
matter
drinking,
what
baby.
season it is. It is
Football
football
and
and drinking.
boozing.
Yep.
Yeah, SEC tailgating is different.
It's a whole different animal.
And we already
down
reached
there.
out to our connections to partake in their area of tailgating.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yep. We will be in the lot doing our thing. Damn
And-
near on campus. You walked
Doing it all the
walked
right
the
way.
campus last
It was a
year.
block. I was
Yeah.
like, hey, I'm going to go check out campus. I'm going to see how far it is. I looked it up. It was a block. I went down the street and turned left. I watched the Vols walk.
The Vols walk, yeah.
I watched the band come through. Hundreds of thousands of people. Literally everyone that was trying to go into Neyland Stadium
Yeah.
or tailgating was down there. Neyland holds, what, 110?
110.
So everyone who was going to the game, but everyone who was also tailgating was making their way down there. It was unreal. Right in the middle of campus. It was crazy. What was I going to say? It was with the tailgating experience. Oh, this year it's a flex game, so it can be a really, really long tailgating experience, meaning the game could be at 6:30 or 8:30, or it can be a somewhat long tailgating experience and the game be at 3:30 or 4:30. So that will be interesting because it starts. So the guys who set up, they get there at like 3. They set up,
In the morning.
they leave, and then in the morning. Well, that's
There was that nice, lovely sound of the hams opening again.
not a sponsor, but could be. They get there in the morning, and then what time do we get there? It had to be 8 or 9.
Yeah,
It was early.
We got there mid-morning. Yeah, it wasn't much after that. Because I think it was a 1 o'clock game.
Yeah, it was an early game. So, but
Yeah, tailgating down there, man. SEC football. I mean, I'm a Midwest guy. Okay, being from here, Big Ten guy, the whole deal. You know, even lived out in California for a few years when SC was actually, well, now they're getting good again, but UCLA were good, and
Yep.
there is nothing like it. It is just a different vibe. It's
And
a
it's
different deal. Well, yeah,
And
it
it's
doesn't matter
Bama.
what it is, but when Bama comes to town,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
That's,
it's a whole
take it
different.
up a
It's a
notch.
whole different deal.
and they won that game on a last-minute field goal,
Yeah.
last second field goal.
Yeah, 52-49,
The
man.
goalposts were getting taken down the street. It was unreal. Like we didn't stay down there for the game. It was crazy. We went to a bar, watched a half, and then went home because we've been tailgating since 8 a.m.
Right.
So
And we
it
didn't
was a
want-
long day.
And we didn't want to be there for either the win or the loss. I mean,
Yeah.
it was just, yeah, and they drug the thing right down the middle of Cumberland, which is right off campus, and then threw it in the river, the goalpost.
Yeah.
It is, yeah. And no one did anything. And
No.
nothing got wrecked. There were no
Other than
riots.
the field goal post.
Well, the field goal, but no one, no crazy ass fights, no
The AD
throwing
was,
crap through windows. It'd be just
the
everybody
AD was
having a great
asked,
time.
"What are you going to do about that?" He's like, "I'm going to buy another goalpost."
Yeah.
He didn't really care.
No, he didn't give
Um,
a rat.
No, it was not. We watched that. We finished watching that on the deck outside, and it was.
I mean, the money they make for that game.
Oh,
go,
yeah.
Go buy as many field goal
And
posts
at-
as you want.
And at the time, it was 1 versus 3.
yeah.
Bama was 1, Tennessee was 3 or 5. I can't remember. So it was a big game either way, and it's later in the season, so it does have a lot to do with the college playoff and all that stuff. So, yeah, you're in for a treat. It's
Yeah,
going to be
I'm ready.
It's
Yeah,
it's
it's
going
gonna
to
be
be a
fun.
good time. Now we just need to convince other people to
Come along.
come along.
I mean, UT for the first time in forever is probably going to be favored in that game,
Yes.
unless they drop the ball and, But UT, yeah, they're going to be good. And Bama, with Saban being gone, I think people are thinking it's going to take them a couple years. But
Yeah.
that'll be one of the first times. Well, in
It's still gonna be
15 or
fun.
20 years, I bet that. It's going to be. It's
Yeah.
going to be fabulous.
No one cares if anyone. You can have a random coaching Bama, but if those Tennessee people, it's like, oh, we're playing Bama. I don't care
Oh,
what's
no.
going on.
No.
We're gonna
Yeah.
absolutely crush them.
Yeah, it's going to go crazy.
So yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good. Sweet. Think we're gonna end it here soon. We're gonna throw some rapid fire questions at Pops here.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So your goal is to just hear them, answer them. There's a couple you might need to think a little bit, but you're just gonna go for it.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Do you need a swig of that glorious, wonderful, ice cold hams?
I think I already had one, but I'll have another one.
Love it. Yeah, you might, because these are some wicked questions. Ready?
Yeah, okay, go for it.
All right, here we go. Minnesota Wild or Blackhawks?
Blackhawks.
Van Halen or AC/DC?
Stumped on the second one.
AC/DC.
Chocolate or vanilla ice cream?
Oh, vanilla.
Top 3 golf courses you would like to play anywhere in the world?
Oh, my goodness. A Riviera.
Is that in California?
It's in California.
Okay.
I'd like to play Hilton Head,
Where's that at?
Carolina.
Okay.
It's where they play the TPC or they play. It's got the lighthouse on it. The one with the lighthouse. I can't
remember either.
But it's that. Jeez. And I would actually like to play TPC Sawgrass.
Is that the
with the
stadium
island
course?
green? With the island green.
The island green. Yeah.
Yeah. You
All
know,
right. No
yeah.
Augusta?
No.
All right. Cool.
No.
What sports would you rather coach at any level, basketball or hockey?
Coach?
Yeah.
Basketball. I'd still rather coach basketball.
What would be your catchphrase if you had one?
I'm not going to be able to come up with
No
that.
catchphrase?
I
All
don't
right.
think I have a catchphrase. It probably would have to do something. I'd have to curse on it. So that's not going to happen on the vanilla podcast here. I don't want to get anybody in trouble with the FCC.
Yeah, because the FCC is really tuning in.
But no, I don't have a catchphrase off the top of my head.
Favorite concert venue you've ever been to?
The Ryman, or Red Rocks and the Ryman, they're both the same. Red Rocks in California, Colorado, and the Ryman in Nashville is fabulous.
What is a non-clothing item you think you can pull off as a clothing item? That was Danielle's.
A non-clothing item.
A non-clothing item you think you can pull off as a clothing item. That's a tough one. I don't know. I'll give you 5.
Oh, I could wear like a flag I could wear like a flag as a like a kilt or a toga or something.
Okay.
I could pull that off.
McGoldens or hams?
Oh shoot.
There's just be careful the way you answer on the good old podcast.
This-
but it is
this-
your opinion.
This should be it should be a sponsor, but it's not. I do enjoy the hams, but give me Biff Golden.
All right.
They're
Fair
both
enough.
good. I'm not turning down either of them, and they're both really, really tasty.
Yeah. Answer in 3 seconds here. Where would you travel to right now if you could anywhere in the world? 3, 2, 1.
Portugal.
Cool. Would your answer change if you were stuck there forever?
No.
No? Portugal seems pretty legit.
No.
And then the very last question sent in by your wife,
Okay.
my mother. Do pigs really hold their breath?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They do?
Absolutely. They'll hold their breath. If you walk into a barn and if you scare them, the whole barn will hold their breath. Every single hog in there will literally.
Guys, this is an ex-pig farmer talking to you about this. That's why the question came up.
Yeah,
They
absolutely.
will?
Yes, that is an absolute fact. If you walk into a barn and you sort of scare them, they'll not even try to scare them. If you open the door and they see it, literally just boop, nothing. It is absolute silence
Wow.
and they are literally holding their breath until one just goes, and then it's over. Then they just start doing their thing again.
Well, there you go. You
Yep.
heard it there first. You
Yep.
learned. Thanks for tuning in, guys. This was episode 4 of the podcast. Thanks, Pops, for coming on.
Very welcome. I enjoyed myself, boys. Thank you very much.
Matt, we missed you. We'll see you soon. Go like, comment, share, subscribe. Do all the things. We really, really, really do appreciate bringing these episodes to you. It's a fun time. So we'll keep doing it. You guys keep listening. Thank you. And we'll see you on the next one. Later.